What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing well. And we've got another game of Stay or Go to play. And this one is also going to be tough. Most of these are tough, if we're being honest, right? Because there are elements at play that we, as observers from the outside, cannot possibly know about. We can just kind of speculate here. And I think that's also probably at play for a guy like Damien Lewis. So. Let's talk about Damien Lewis and his career so far because he's been in the league 4 years now, all 4 years with the Seahawks. Um, First year played right guard, was really good. Second year moved to left guard, was mediocre to below mediocre. Third year stayed at left guard, really good. Fourth year stayed at left guard, was okay, I guess, kinda, sorta. So here we are 4 years later, and we still probably have more questions than answers. And that includes how much is this guy worth, and is he worth paying whatever that value is? So he's about to turn 27, so he's coming into his prime. His best football is probably ahead of him, so that's good, I guess. His contract breakdown, he actually does have one on Spotrac. They say 2 years, 15 million. So basically just under 7.4 million a year. And I could see that. I could see that. It's just really hard to figure out if that's good or not because first of all, are you keeping him at left guard? And if so, what version of Damian Lewis are you going to get at left guard? What happened to him last year? Does he fit your offense as a left guard? Because if you want mobile offensive linemen, Damian Lewis definitely can't be your left guard. I don't even know if he can be your right guard, but he definitely can't be the left guard. So you move him over to right guard where the mobility is not as big of a deal and you use him as just a pure road grader against one techs and zero techs. That's different. That's better for sure. And the 1 year he was there, that was 4 years ago, he was really good. But then we have to ask ourselves, does he even remember how to do it? Would there be an adjustment period because he's been playing on the left side for 3 years? Would he then go, okay, you got to give me time to adjust again? When we already invested all that time in getting him to adjust to the left side and are now wondering if that was even a good investment of time. I don't know. That's what makes this one hard. So we got to use the most recent year to kind of inform us because that's the year that really matters. Damian Lewis, to my eye, was okay in 2023. PFF agrees he was okay, just shy of 60 on their grading scale. Played the full year at left guard, by the way. So I guess that kind of provides the base. But what do we do with that information? So you go to guards, sort them by average annual value. Guys like Lindstrom, who set the market last year, we can pass over them. Quentin Nelson, Zach Martin, Elgton Jenkins, Brandon Scherf. We can go right past all these guys. Especially anybody who's like a primo left guard, you can forget about because you got to realize that we don't even know if Damian Lewis is a left guard at all. We thought he was for a few years with Waldron, but I don't know if most teams would consider him like that. So let's try to find somebody who's in a similar position to Lewis because Lewis is coming into his prime. Let's start with Ben Powers. This is a guy who signed a contract with the Broncos last year. 4 years, 51.5 million, so that's just shy of 13 mil a year. That's probably where we're going to start the conversation. Now, Ben Powers, PFF didn't love him either, but they did like him a little bit better in 2022 than they liked Damian Lewis this year, and he did have a very, very strong skill as a pass blocker. And the fact that he's a left guard makes the fact that his run blocking is weaker not quite so big of a deal. You need pass protection at left guard more so than run blocking. So I don't think we're there yet. I think Ben Powers definitely had a higher had a star on the rise going into that offseason, especially as a left guard, whereas Damian Lewis has not got that right now. So let's scroll down a little bit more, try to find someone else. We got Nate Davis of the Chicago Bears last year, turning when he was 26, signed 3 years for 30. Okay, we're kind of in the right range now. This guy didn't play the whole season, but he was graded out pretty well by PFF, and he was playing at right guard too. So that's also notable. So again, this just kind of depends on how you view Damian Lewis as a player. Is he a left guy or a right guy? And that being the case, I think we're getting close to where Damien Lewis might land, just because he's kind of coming off a not so great season. I'm going to scroll down just a little bit more here, and we're going to get to Isaac Sumalo. This was part of that great Philadelphia Eagles line that went to the Super Bowl. He signed in Pittsburgh, 3 years, $24 million, so that's $8 million a year. What did he do to earn that contract? I mean, his grades were great at right guard. The thing is, he was playing with Lane Johnson on his right and with Jason Kelsey on his left, so his job was pretty dang easy. So I think the league correctly evaluated that he wasn't that kind of player. He wasn't a super duper star or even like a great player. He was a good player, and they paid him accordingly. So I think we're kind of in the right range here. I think we're definitely getting somewhere right around here. So let's keep going a little bit more. Connor McGovern, last offseason at 25, got about $7.5 million a year. So let's take a look at him. Oh, wow. Okay. We've definitely gotten somewhere. In 2022, this guy played most of the season at left guard, granted, left guard. Doesn't look like he played all that well. PFF was not impressed, at least. And he still got about $7.5 million per year. And if we want to go down just a little bit more to Nick Gates, who signed with the football team or the Commanders or whatever they are now, for $5.5 million, turning 27. So some similarities to where Damien Lewis is about to find himself. He didn't play that much that year, and he was not really all that great according to PFF when he did play. Now, he played at 3 different positions, and some of it was left guard. But still, this is not a guy who should be getting the same kind of pay that Damien Lewis is about to get. So I think we've kind of found the sweet spot here. It's got to be above Nick Gates. It's probably right around where a guy like Connor McGovern is, which means $7.5 million, which is what Spotrac roughly estimated. So I feel like Damien Lewis is going to be looking for either a 2-year deal or a 3-year deal worth about $7 to $7.5 million a year. He's got some stuff he can point at. He's got some good seasons. He's got some good plays. There's reason to believe he would be better with a position change. Now, that being said, would I do it if that's what he's looking for? I kind of want to turn the page. I don't want to go into this offseason with Damien Lewis as a long-term part of my interior offensive line, thinking to myself, okay, is he going to be on the left? Is he going to be on the right? If he's on the left, is he going to be good? If he's on the right, is he going to be good? If he's not good at the left, can we move him back to the right? If he's not good on the right, can we move him back to the... I don't want to do that. I feel like even a rookie would be more of a sure thing than Damien Lewis at this point. I don't feel like playing the game of like, okay, can he do this? Can he do that? I just want to cut it off. He can go somewhere else and figure it out, in my book. Now, if he wanted to sign a deal that was like $5 million a year or less, then sure, he's definitely worth that. In some capacity, he will be worth a 2-year $10 million or 1-year $5 million deal. But I don't see him taking that. That's less than what Nick Gates got. So I'm looking at Damien Lewis and I'm kind of going, okay, I don't even really know what he is. If I'm going to have a player who I don't know what he is, can at least be a guy on a rookie deal? I mean, if you're looking at Damien Lewis as a right guard's easy. Right guard's easy to find. They're all over the place in the draft. And it's not like Damien Lewis has some over-the-top great mobility that he's bringing to the table that you can't find anywhere else. He's pretty immobile. So, yeah, I think Damien Lewis is going to be looking for $7 to $7.5 million a year, and I don't think I can do it. So that's my take there. Let me know what you guys think. I will see you guys later. Go Hawks, more videos coming.